Right, ladies and gentlemen, we on to the main card of the evening. Bout number 9. It's in the Fightstar welterweight division. Calling out fighter number 1, fighting out of the red corner, representing Wrestling for MMA. Let's hear it for Donald Mabusela.
Yeah, Donald Mabusela, as I like to call him. He is definitely a character, fights out of a great gym, Wrestling for MMA. I have seen this kid take guys for absolute rides. He was throwing people around this cage like they were rag dolls, fought like anything to make it onto the show, and unfortunately came up against the Silverback Gorilla and Elisa Kubanza in the last round, but him and Paul Rich having a good little go at each other in the build-up to this fight. You know, Paul Rich and Dimitri Farg had some great trash talking building up to their fight. Lots of respect between the two, but no punches pulled in the build-up. And Donald and Paul having a good go at each other in the build-up to this one as well. You know, Donald posted, for those that don't know, there's a little WhatsApp group between all the guys that are competing on the show, and Donald was posting videos of steak, egg, and chips and a couple of other things to Paul Rich in particular, who was doing a weight cut at the time. So the guy's definitely having fun with it. You know, they're having a lot of fun building up to the show, and Donald is a great character. You know, as you can see, he's got his Afrikaans walkout songs.
Well, I was just about to comment on that. I think it's absolutely amazing, showing his culture, his pride for his country.
Let's get his opponent in the cage.
And his opponent fighting out of the blue corner, representing DFFG. Let's make some noise for Paul, the notorious Mac Panda Rich.
So the man who calls him the South African Conor McGregor, Mr. Paul Rich, fighting out of Durban, Clint's gym, DFFG in Durban. You know, also a guy that's been in the industry for a long time. He's been in the fight game for a long time as his coach, and Paul's definitely one of those guys who likes a good fight, likes to get in the cage. And you know, as I say, 2 of the biggest characters out of the 8 fighters that are on the show. Both of them love talking a bit of smack. You know, love building up to the fights and build up to the crowd. And this should be a good one. The fight should be a good one. And as you were saying, a bit odd having Donald having an Afrikaans walkout song. I'll tell you about one of the fights that he had. He actually got Steve O'Law, who's in his corner, to come out and translate for him. So he did his whole interview in Afrikaans, and Steve-O did the translation into English.
Wow. Phenomenal, quite a character. See, he likes to mess people around.
100, and that's why I say both these guys, 2 of the biggest characters in the show this season. You know, both love you know, talking a bit of crap, like the build up to the fight. But you know, the talking has to be done in the cage at the end of the day. So let's see who comes out of here.
That's it. Well, that's it. You know, trash talking sells tickets. It also makes for very good fights, because no matter how much fun and games is in it, guys always take it a little bit personally.
Let's get this one kicked off.
This bout is brought to you by Roman's Alarms. It is 3 3-minute rounds of Fightstar welterweight action. And our referee for this match is Jay Sexy D.
Jay Sexy D is the referee in this one.
I don't think he's ever going to live that down.
No, he's had that name for a long time. He gets it every time he's in the cage. Everyone has a bit of fun with him. But again, this is one of the fights that's got the most in the build-up, and I'm sure both of these guys want to get a W back in after losses in the last round.
Both of them looking very focused and serious.
Yeah, it's fun and games in the build-up until the cage door closes. Then it's serious.
It's all fun and games until someone gets hit.
And I wonder if Donald's going to go back to his old game of taking Paul for a bit of a ride. Can see his corner just telling him to take it easy, keep it calm. In one of the fights in the build-up to this, when he was throwing people around, he actually gassed himself, because I think he threw his opponent about 8 times in the first minute. Can see feeling each other out, not rushing into anything. the wins here do mean more to these guys because they are part of the show, and on Monday morning they have to record themselves and right after the fight. So lots to talk about. And there you can see,
Going for the
as
slam
I said,
there.
he's going to take you for a ride, is Donald Mabusela.
So he enjoys the wrestling. Very strong guy.
Yeah, that's where the nickname Mabusela comes from. Once he's got you off your feet, you can be guaranteed he's going to do something horrible. You can see nice knees again to the legs. We saw what that did against Herman in the previous fight.
Great cage wrestling by Donald Joe's got him pressed up there. No space at all.
And Donald is an old school proper wrestler. So everything you think about when you think of a wrestler, that is Donald Mabusela, folks. There you can see he's got the one leg, controlling McPanda against the cage. Good work. Paul Rich got a problem here. He's been against that cage for quite some time now.
Donald's not giving him any space to move. Paul does have an underhook. Should look to reverse him here off the cage. Donald very heavy though.
Paul, as I said, Paul coming up from Durban for the fights here. So you've also got to look at altitude, which could make a difference to the gas tank. And there you can see as well,
Altitude
Donald,
definitely a factor.
and Donald giving some nice flatties against the ear there, which will also, throw you off a little bit. Great takedown there. Paul Rich straight back up to his feet. Steve-O there just telling him where he is in the round in terms of time left. This will definitely sap Paul's gas tank and test that the theory of altitude. He's spending a lot of time with a lot of weight on him.
Altitude definitely a factor. In the pro ranks, we love fighting guys from the coast. You know their lungs are going to burn halfway through the first. And that's the round.
Great opening round by both of these guys.
Pretty even. I'd say Donald took it with that big slam though.
You can see once he's got your feet in the air, you're in a lot of trouble. You can see both looking very relaxed, very composed. Paul Rich there taking instruction. You can see his team up here from Durban. And that's also the big difference between the show. The first season was very much Gauteng and Joburg based with guys from Secunda, Joburg, Pretoria. The second season of Searching for a Scrap, we had a couple of guys coming in from outside of Johannesburg. Season 3 is definitely a search for the best guys all over the continent. Elisa flying in from DRC. We had a fighter from Angola in the prelims, fighters coming up from Durban, Bloemfontein, everywhere to compete. And this is the result of it. It's guys that are really at the top of their game. Interesting to watch every week, but this is where you want to see it, is in the cage. You can see Donald again straight back against the cage.
It's where he's comfortable, most comfortable. Put that deep underhook there.
Donald carrying on with those shots to the ear.
It's almost like those mama slaps to the ear, reminding you you've done something wrong.
And we've actually seen a fight here at Fightstar's end with a couple of those on the ground.
Sure.
Dimitri Fogg ended a fight with open hand strikes to the ear.
PKs, we refer to them as.
Yeah.
Couple PKs on the ear, definitely going to mess with your balance. Oh, guys are swinging here. Paul weaving nicely, anticipating it.
Now Donald coming in, he's taking
for the big shots.
Oh, Paul landed some nice shots there. Donald got him back against the cage though.
Wrestling though, immediately looking for the contact.
Nice knee landed there by Paul as well. The Mac Panda, South Africa's notorious one as he calls himself. Nice shots landed by Donald. Very wild though, and Paul's landing.
Just loading a bit, Paul.
Oh, he landed a nice uppercut there.
Donald carrying. I don't think it's going to be long before JD steps in here.
Good work by Donald. He was taking some big shots
for the
there.
Guillotine. Tap.
Oh, there we go. Great finish by Paul Rich.
Nice and deep guillotine.
Definitely wanted to come away with that win. Good finish there by
Guys
by
showing each
Paul.
other a little bit of respect. Always nice to see.
Especially after the talking trash in the build-up, as they say, is always done with respect, always done with, love for the game, love for the sport, and both of them coming away with a great fight. But Paul coming away with a win. I'm sure the guys in Durban will be very happy with that, and he'll be heading over to Rockamamas for that 6-inch burger he's been bragging about on social media. So
I'm sure he will as soon as he gets back. He might not even wait. Find the nearest one here in Joburg.
Very good finish by him there.
Very good. Great to see.
Landed some nice shots, some good straight punches there from Paul Rich as well. Donald gave us what we wanted to see with that massive slam in the first round. I do think he took a couple of shots which kind of threw him a little bit in that round. And then almost sat down and waited for Paul Rich just to tee off on him.
The fight game, no love lost.
Ladies and gentlemen, fight number 9. Let's make some noise for these two awesome gladiators. Referee stopped this bout. 1 minute 26 seconds into round number 2, declaring your winner via guillotine choke from the blue corner, Paul the Notorious McPanda Rich.
Let's give these guys a big round of applause. Paul McPanda. So nice to see a notorious one coming away with a win this time.
Yeah, I've been waiting for this interview since we started the competition. So I hate to rip off my star, but surprise, surprise, the Mac is back.
Well, I call him Mabusela for a reason. He took you for a bit of a ride there in the first round, but you stayed composed, managed to come back with some strikes and get the finish in the second.
Yeah, he was expecting me to come out and box with him. I was expecting him to throw a few punches. I knew he could box a bit. I knew he was a good wrestler. I just wanted to maintain the distance, make him work the first round. I didn't think he had the gas tank, so and I saw the guillotines there, and I've been working it. I knew it was going to be there, and I just sunk it in. I saw the hand come up a little bit earlier, then he put it down. And then I got it. But all credit to Donald, he's a warrior. It takes balls to get in here, man. So respect to every athlete, win or lose. Respect always from my side. And thanks to Fightstar for a great show, man. I'm loving the series, loving the fight camps here, loving the fans. I love Secunda. Thank you so much, guys. Yeah, you guys have been amazing. It's not often a Durban boy gets this amount of respect in a weight town. So mad love for all of you. I'm going to be at the bar. Come and have a beer with me, talk to me. I'd love to meet some of you guys, man. Respect.
There you have it, guys. Another big round of applause for Paul McPanda Rich.